from our next guest, who is one of our local consumers, Megan Kuleas. Megan is kindly sharing her experience of living with chronic pain today. Megan is from Canberra. She is a local. She's been diagnosed with endometriosis, with adenomyosis, with polycystic ovarian syndrome and a heart condition due to her pain. So please make Megan welcome.
Thanks, Carol. Good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to take this opportunity to acknowledge the attendance of everyone here today and also online. Thank you for attending. As mentioned, my name is Megan Kuleas and I've been given the opportunity today to tell you my story. Sorry, I don't usually talk about my story, so I apologise if I get emotional. Pain does not discriminate. It can affect people of any age, gender or cultural background. Society does not always accept or understand this. It is a commonly held belief that people with pain conditions should look sick, that they are usually old or physically impaired, or that they are unable to work or function. Yes, this can be the case, but it is not always. Those who have pain have good days too, but they do not experience symptoms and they are able to go about their days without limitation. Currently, 3.24 million people in Australia experience chronic pain, and I am one of these people. The conditions that cause my pain are not visible. So although I do look healthy most days, I'm often experiencing chronic and acute pain and other unfortunate side effects, like these great shakes. For those who have never experienced chronic pain or who may not understand it, imagine bumping your elbow or waking up with a toothache or rolling your ankle. And instead of that pain only lasting 10 minutes or going away with the help of Panadol, it stays with you like an annoying and unescapable shadow. On the good days, it is bearable, and you might not notice it that much. On the bad days, it can be excruciating. You might feel dizzy, pass out, have uncontrollable vomiting, or be unable to sleep or to get out of bed due to the pain. I've suffered from endometriosis since I was young, but was officially diagnosed when I was 18, and I'm now 31. Prior to this, I was also diagnosed with polycystic ovarian syndrome. I've been lucky that in most of my young adult life, I suffered few to no symptoms. I was able to excel in my career, studies, extracurricular activities, and hobbies. I was used to working upwards of 60-hour weeks while studying my undergraduate degree full-time via distance and holding a position on the board of directors for a national charity. I loved working out and maintained a very busy social life. In 2017, things came to a sudden halt when I became very unwell. I started experiencing the most unbearable pain, and it was like my life began to spiral out of control. My Canberra-based specialist had advised my endometriosis had returned and gotten worse, and I needed a more invasive surgery. He was no longer able to help me and referred me to Sydney for my 4th surgery. This also began my revolving door relationship with the hospital emergency department, where I would be admitted for at least a week at a time and be placed on a ketamine or fentanyl infusion. I've been there so often, I think I could name every nurse on the antenatal ward now, and almost 75% of those at the emergency department at Canberra Hospital. I was also so unwell that I exhausted 11 years of personal leave in less than 18 months. Unfortunately, my 4th surgery to remove my growths was not successful. Since then, I was also diagnosed with adenomyosis and re-diagnosed with polycystic ovarian syndrome. This year, I've undergone 2 trials for a spinal cord stimulator system, and in August, I'll be undergoing surgery to have it permanently implanted. I'm in pain every day, but on some days, the pain is not severe and debilitating as others. I'm required to take a number of medications which impact me differently each day, and I'm unable to predict how I will feel as a result. This does make me self-conscious, and I'm often choosing not to take my medication if I have an important meeting or engagement on. I'm lucky to be able to maintain a full-time occupation, something that not all chronic pain sufferers are able to do. I have the most amazing family and friends who support me unconditionally. I honestly don't know what condition I would be in, physically or mentally, if I did not have them. I can only imagine how difficult it must be to see your daughter, sister, friend, or loved one in pain and knowing you are not able to help them. My situation became more complicated last year when I started fainting without explanation, some days up to 12 times a day. I've been since diagnosed with a heart condition, which was caused by my chronic pain. I've undergone a number of procedures on my heart and now have a heart monitor implanted. I also had to move back to my family home at the recommendation of a medical professional, as it was no longer safe to live alone with my continual faints, which often resulted in injuries to myself. I moved back temporarily with my loving and very understanding parents, and although I do not always show it, I'll be forever grateful for their unwavering love and support. I also have a very special sister. It's actually quite hard to explain in words how incredible she is, but just take my word for it. She's also a very exceptional nurse, which for someone in my condition is very helpful. I've struggled to accept that I have a chronic health condition or multiple conditions, and I'm still trying to accept that I may never be able to achieve what I was destined to do or what I'm fully capable of, and I often feel like a failure. My pain specialist in Sydney knows I have very high expectations of myself and often needs to remind me that I need to be more realistic and only look to do a third of what I think I can do. This has had a significant impact on my life. I've had to change roles at work, limit my study workload for my master's, and significantly cut down on my extracurricular activities. I frequently spend my spare time and weekends in bed resting, and I often find myself cancelling on friends or appointments as I'm in too much pain or am too fatigued. On a daily basis, I struggle with guilt as well. The guilt of not living up to my own expectations or to the perceived expectations of others. I know this guilt is something that many pain sufferers deal with too. The relationship between a chronic pain sufferer and their health management team is imperative. As a pain sufferer, it is hard to develop trust with health professionals due to fear that they won't believe you or take you seriously. Even before considering their medical advice, it is essential that you can work with them, trust them without hesitation or reservations, and know they will support you in your goals. Chronic pain is different for each person, and therefore each person's case must be treated that way. It cannot be done in a one-size-fits-all approach. Today, we are here to officially launch the new and improved National Pain Services Directory. The directory is an excellent initiative that is groundbreaking for pain sufferers. The directory will not only assist sufferers of pain, both new and old, but their carers, their loved ones, and other medical professionals. By categorising pain services by different levels and by those available in private and public hospitals, sufferers can tailor their search specific to their personal needs and requirements. The ability to search using locations is extremely beneficial, particularly for those whose access to medical treatment is restricted by distance and location. As a pain sufferer myself, I just wanted to express my thanks and gratitude to Painaustralia and the Australian government for all that you do to support us, but particularly for establishing the directory. I know it will help me greatly in my journey and others in theirs. Thank you for the opportunity to speak today and to be part of today's launch.